Welcome to Beyond the Chord with me, Caragh,
And me, Malba.
Join us each week where we will talk about the ups and downs of being songwriters over the age of 40 and what it's really like juggling motherhood, menopause and keeping that creative spark alive. As if that wasn't enough, each week we will write a new song together and perform it live on the podcast. So get comfy, grab a cuppa and let's dive in. Hi Malba.
Hi, Caragh.
How's your week been?
Very good. Very good, actually.
That's good.
Because I wrote up on my whiteboard, I commit to making today count and working on my music every single day.
I like that.
So that I can see it all the time.
That's really good. That's a nice reminder.
Mm-hmm. What about you? How's your week been?
How's my week been? Busy. Busy with the kids. Lots of running around. Haven't had much of a chance to do much music, but trying my best.
That's all we can ever do though, isn't it?
That's it. Oh, and I forgot to pick up my HRT today, actually. Like, I pure realised that, like, oh crap, I'm on my last patch. What's going to happen? My hormones are going to go crazy.
Patch that patch.
Patch that patch. I had to phone the doctors and be like, I need 4 patches, but I can't remember what they're called or what I'm on. And they're like, hang on, let's just check that out. So it's all sorted. I have to go and get it tomorrow. And then I'll be like back on a level.
Well, that's quite a fascinating and timely thing. Because I was too at the doctor's today and discussing, my general lack of brain fog. Lack of brain fog? Fog? General fog?
All the fog? What the fog?
And I was like, I don't know how much of this is perimenopause or the fact that I have no thyroid or my medication's not working. And I suppose that's something that we can talk about, because I freely admitted to the doctor that I have no clue what perimenopause actually is, never mind what it means.
Well, I've since being diagnosed early, which was really quite crap, to be honest.
It's a bit unfair.
It's a bit unfair. I didn't have any time to digest it. It just happened and that was that. So obviously I started looking into it because I thought, I've got 10 years. There's plenty of time before the next thing happens. But no, straight in there. So I had to look into it, and apparently menopause is just one day.
What?
So anything up to that day is perimenopause, and anything after that day is post-menopause.
No.
Yeah, because the menopause is just that one day, that full 12 months between not having your last period ever, and then that anniversary, that day is your menopause, and then
oh my god,
isn't that nice?
Right, so we have to have a menopause day party.
Yeah, but would you even know what day that would be?
No.
I wouldn't have a clue. Do you just choose a day? I think we should have a day.
Let's have a day.
Have a ceremony.
We could write a song about it.
We could. We should.
Oh, we definitely have to.
I think we've already got our topic for next week.
brain fog.
Brain fog, if we remember. Here we go, there's the title. If we remember.
My name. You can always remind me. If I forget. Can you?
Provided I get my HRT and I don't also have brain fog, yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing, we want this to be informative.
Well, I should probably, say I'm no expert. This is just something I read on the internet. It could be nonsense.
Well, I did come away from the doctors with 2 websites to look up.
Right.
So I'll go and have a wee look.
You can tell me if that's nonsense or not.
We can have a menopause fact.
That could be a section of the podcast. Menopause fact.
I totally love that. Because then we'll be learning as well.
Could we retain the information?
No, but we could always listen back to our own podcast.
That's true. At least 2 of us will listen.
Oh, so that's our week,
Yeah,
amongst other things.
indeed. Fun times.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
It's always fucking hard to be a woman.
I could write a song about that. Oh, the possibilities are endless.
That's why I love this place, because we can just...
Oh, no, it's just so nice to get a space where we can talk about these things. I know now people talk about it much more, but I mean, irrespective of whether they're talking about it much more, I still do not have a clue.
Yeah, I don't hear much about it.
So maybe that could be like, you know, part of us trying to figure out. And I think it's like anything else. It's an individual thing, you know. And so, someone said the other day, yeah, like if you go into menopause and you're really stressed and you've got a lot of stress in your life, it's going to be really terrible. And I was just like, oh no,
I've always got stress.
No, she said, but then if you're not like stressed and you know you've got quite like not a stressful life, then you'll breeze through it. Well, maybe it's about, you know, maybe it's
those
about...
people don't have kids.
But maybe it is about reframing. So maybe there's something in that for us about, you know, and I think that's what we're going to talk about. You know, especially being women over 40, is that, you know, if we look at it, that this is going to be like the best time of our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's make
right?
I mean, we're starting it off with a party.
Absolutely.
Menopause party.
Oh, we'll need to get planning then. But I think that's the thing, you know, it's like we're getting to go through this together.
Yeah.
As songwriters and artists, and how, you know, how that's going to affect us.
Going to channel it all into our writing.
Yeah. So exciting. Although I must say, I'm a wee bit nervous about writing a song and then performing it on the podcast. But only because, yeah, anyway, that can be for next episode.
Okay.
But I'm excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
So what are we going to do next? What's next on the podcast agenda?
Well, I've got a question for you.
Oh right, what is it?
Let's see how you answer this.
Okay.
As we've established, we're both beyond 40.
I love that you're putting me in the bracket of beyond 40.
We are.
I know, I am.
So as we are beyond 40, do you ever feel like it's a race against time to achieve something with your music?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think that I have this sense of urgency because I have a really old story of it being too late for me, and so I find that very hard to keep the faith on knowing that it's going to happen and being patient, because I think, well, I've left it too late, I've waited too long, and you know, in the second half of your life, you know, you think, God, how much longer have I got? You know, no day is, you know, every day is, I don't mean every day is a bonus.
Wow.
Every day's a bonus. No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that, you know, you are grateful to have every day.
Yeah, you don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted, but, you know, I think, oh, it's too late for me and I've left it too late, so then comes that sense of struggle and not being creative and letting it flow, which is the whole point of, you know, in whatever your creative outlet is. So I just struggle all the time. I feel like I'm at war with myself constantly.
Right.
To get this debut album out, to get it finished, and I suppose that's something that we can talk about as well later on, when, you know, it's useful to hear what other people's tips are for trying to let that go, that sense of urgency.
And just embracing what you have.
Yeah. What about you? Do you feel like it's a race against time? Do you have certain markers that you think, well, I want this done by then? Or
I used to think that when I was in my 20s. I actually am quite ashamed of this, but I'll share anyway. I was what, mid-20s at the time, and I was an active musician. I was out, I was gigging, I was writing all the time, and I was friends with a woman who was 30, like going to her early 30s, and I remember thinking, she's too old. And like, I mean, it was a common thing. You were kind of fed that message. You had to be young to be successful.
Yeah.
And I bought into it because I thought, oh, I'm running out of time. If I'm 25 or whatever, I'm running out of time. Mm-hmm. How insane is that?
It is insane.
It's mental. So once upon a time, I did think I was against the clock and I have to get something out. But actually, I never released anything in my 20s because I knew, like, these were all the songs I was writing were just exercises for when I had something to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel I had anything worthwhile to say. Everything was just like quite flimsy, flippant, you know. There was nothing of any substance. So when I came back to music I was too old because I was well into my 30s. I had more of an intention. So I was like, it doesn't really matter now. Like, technically I'm too old according to all the messages that I took in, but I can let that go because, well, now I'm just too old. So I'm just going to do what I wanted to do, and now I do have something to say because I've had kids, I've lived a life, I've met people, I've gone places, I've got stories to tell, and now's my time to tell them, and just to kind of give myself a bit of a push and go, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, and I think it's quite telling that you know, it took me, well, let's think, how long did it take me to actually acknowledge that I was a songwriter? You know, I've always written poetry and you know, for many years, but again, would never have classed myself as an artist. You know, and it took me a long time to even say that I was a songwriter. You know, I would say, well, I'm a community musician and blah 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 blah. Oh, and I'm a songwriter, and it was always tagged on at the end. It was never actually, this is who I am. This is my whole, which I'm now realising is my whole reason for being in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only taken me years, more than 40 years, shall we say. But I think we are conditioned that, you know, and I think that's what I love about why we're doing this, is that this is the point in our life where, I know your children are much younger than mine. However, you know, your job, your role as a mother is to give everything you can to them, and then now I feel that I'm at the point where it's now it's my turn to go, actually, what can I now contribute to the world beyond making sure that my children are okay and you know, normal human beings,
something for you,
as normal as any of us are.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not normal.
No, I'm not normal. That's probably why we get on. But I think we're different, and what I like about, or one of the many things I like about us doing this and getting to hang out, which
Yeah.
is massive, because as a mum, you know, trying to carve any time out for your own creativity or to make art is usually very low on the list. And what I love about this is that we're making it non-negotiable, because I think I've realised now that we cannot be our full authentic selves for everybody else if we're not giving ourselves that gift first. And I think as women, and as, you know, women who have been brought up in similar faith, it's, you know, it's always about looking after other people first.
Yeah. Well, that brings us quite nicely into what would your tip be for anybody out there who's perhaps thinking, you know, oh, I am a creative person, I've just never either explored it, or I don't have time, or I'm in the same boat, I've got young kids, and like, how would I, like, what advice would you give to someone who was keen to start?
I think for me, when I run creativity workshops with women, women's groups, and a lot of them are over 40, what I say to them, and is much for a reminder for myself, is that if you actually sit and write for 5 minutes, you are a writer. You know, the act of writing makes you a writer. Now, whether your brain says that's rubbish, or you can't write, or that's this, you know, one of mine is, oh, you literally say the same thing over and over again. It doesn't matter. It's not the what the outcome is. It's the fact that you're going, do you know what? I can sit for 5 minutes and write, or I can sit for 5 minutes and sing, and for me, that active part of it, and just turning up for yourself every day. And I mean, let's be honest, I don't turn up for myself every day.
Well,
and I don't. Well,
you're making a start.
I am making a start by putting it on my whiteboard in big letters. But I think it's about going, do you know what? Even if I don't do it today, I can still do it tomorrow. I remember when I was taking piano lessons, part of the daily practice, which I don't do, by the way, anymore, but this is a good reminder, and it said, no matter what, no less than. So no matter what, I'm going to write for 5 minutes, or no matter what, I'm going to practice for no less than 7 minutes. Now, I know we all say, and I do, oh, I don't have time to practice.
Yeah.
That's total rubbish.
Yeah, you can...
But I think a lot of it is, by the time you come to do that, you're so exhausted that you think that's the last thing I want to do, even though you know that it's going to benefit you. And whatever that creative outlet that is, it could be your creative outlet, could be cooking or making desserts, or we're all creative, and I think that for me is the biggest single thing that I come across when I'm working with women in workshops, is that they say, well, I'm not creative, I'm not musical, I'm not a singer, and usually you trace it back to someone in primary school, a peer, or a teacher, or someone has said, just you stand at the back and lip sync, lip sync, is that the word?
Yeah.
Mime.
Also the word.
I was like, lip sync. So for me, it's that no matter what, no less than, and it has to become non-negotiable. And if you do nothing else that day, and even if it is 1 minute,
just something that you go, well, do you know what, I turned up for myself today. Yeah, I would say if you've got like thinking about my own situation here, I've got very young children who obviously need you about. Yeah. What I used to do when I was writing for my album, I would sing it to them. So if we were pottering about in the living room, or I was cooking dinner in the kitchen and they were there, or I was doing a washing, things that you're doing day to day, and an idea had popped into my head, I'd get my phone and put like the recorder on, and I would sing it out to them. And so I've got these lovely wee recordings where they're in the background and they're like either singing along, or they're, oh, I don't like that, mummy, or I do like, oh, that's cool. You're kind of getting feedback in real time.
Yeah.
And it was just, you've got that was my 5 minutes, but I had it recorded so that at some point in the future, when I could sit down for a couple of hours or whatever, I could go back to it, and that would re-spark the writing process again. So it was like, I fit it into my life rather than, because it's not always easy to be like, I'm going to take half an hour. I mean, kids are so unpredictable, you never know like what's going to come next. So
and I think that's where I'm a wee bit more fortunate than you, in that sense of, I do have a wee bit, I don't really have any excuse, because I do have a wee bit more time, because Caragh's 11 oh my god. And
that's not me, by the way.
No, that's not you. You're not my daughter.
I'm beyond 11.
And Hannah's 17 and Aiden's 19, so I do have the luxury of having more time. I think for me at the moment, it's, and that's something I'm sure we will talk about, is it's your mindset.
Yeah. It's
how you feel, and that can be the challenge.
Speaking of challenges, that was a nice segue. It's just all coming together, Malba.
Here. Oh, well, you can call me whatever you like.
So speaking of challenges, we have set ourselves the challenge of writing a new song every week.
We have.
But obviously, it being the first week, we are going to perform a song that we have already written together.
Yes.
But it is our first collaboration.
It is.
And we did write it together in a bathroom.
It was a very echoey bathroom.
It was a
beautiful bathroom.
I loved that bathroom.
I know. It was. It was very lush.
The acoustics were fantastic.
The acoustics were, and so so we're going to perform that song.
We are. Shall we say how we wrote it? Our process of how we came to write it?
Yeah, because I think that would be really helpful.
Well, it was a workshop challenge that was set to us, where we had to take a scene from a TV show or a film, and then we had to more or less write what the scene was, what happened in the scene. So we took the ending scene from Lost in Translation, when Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson are saying goodbye to each other.
Oh my god!
I know.
I hadn't seen the movie.
Yeah, that's right. You hadn't seen it, so and it's an emotional scene.
I was bawling my eyes out.
And we kind of made up this whole interpretation of what he said to her, and the way that their body language and everything, and how they could see each other and hear each other without saying anything. Yeah. And that's where the title of our song, The Silence Between, came from.
It did. And I think for me, the ability as songwriters to gain that, oh God, here we go again. I can't even think of the word.
Brain fog.
God. Inspiration.
This might happen a lot.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'm not going to apologise, and we're not going to cut it out.
This is what it looks like. This is menopause.
The reality, my friends.
If you're not there yet, this is what's coming.
And it'll be brilliant, whatever it is.
You're having a party.
We are having a party. And you're all invited. We could do it here. We could do a live
menopause party.
I cannot believe that it's only one day.
Well, I'll pick a day next year and let you know.
Right, okay. Maybe once my brain is back in full form. Okay, so are we gonna
We're gonna perform the song? All right. Well, introducing our first song, "The Silence Between."
To see him, to see me, to see divine in the depths of my sea. To see her, to see me, a vision beyond what they all see. To know love, to know me, to know all that we could be. To know love, to know me, to know all that we could be. The silence between, the silence between.
That's it for this week's episode of Beyond the Chord. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did making it. And join us next week for more chat and tunes. And in the meantime, if you want to send us your thoughts, you can follow us on Instagram at Beyond the Chord. We would love to hear from you. Until next time.